Hello, my name is Angela. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're returning, thank you so much for hanging out with me again. This video is going to be very casual and chatty. I've got my coffee, I've got my mug. It says Once Upon a Time, and then on the other side, Happily Ever After on the inside. Thought it was very suiting for a booktube video. The purpose of this video is to describe what kind of a reader I am and what expectations and goals I have for my booktube channel. I wanted to put it out there for people who are following me or considering following me too, so that they had an idea of what to expect as of right now of what I would like to do with this channel. To start, I did this a little bit in the booktube newbie tag, but I wanted to go in depth a little more because I realized a couple of more things about myself and what kind of a reader I am. So, as I said, I'm Angela, and I have discovered that I am a very character-driven reader. I was thinking about the books that really impacted me and stuck with me, or the ones that I bought a whole series of in one night. You know, when you start the first book and then before you're even done you go to Barnes & Noble and try to get all the rest. I've done that for a couple of series, and when I was thinking about what books those were, I realized that what makes me so passionate about them are the characters. I love a good plot. I will give a book 5 stars. It'll be a favorite if I loved the plot, even if I wasn't a big fan of the characters. However, the ones that truly speak to me and capture my heart and soul are the ones who have really in-depth, unique characters that you just get to know and love and adore. The other thing that I have always known about myself is that I am very much a mood reader. That's why I like to have multiple books going at once, usually one nonfiction and then 1 or 2 fiction books, because sometimes you're in the mood for something lighthearted and other times you're in the mood for a high fantasy. You never know what mood you're going to be in, so I like to have multiple options. A lot of people like to read seasonally. I do too. That's a part of mood reading. I like to read spooky things around Halloween, Christmas things around winter time, and I love to read more lighthearted, fluffy, whimsical things in the spring and summer. Because I'm a mood reader, that affects some things along the lines of how I will be running my booktube channel. I'm going to make it clear that my TBRs are very flexible. I don't think I'm gonna not do TBRs because typically there's a couple of books that I want to set the goal of reading that month, and that could be what my TBR video is. However, I want to make it clear that those are just going to be the main books that I want to reach, but that throughout the month I'll be reading a lot more. I'm not gonna, well, I say I'm not. I can't imagine that I'm going to have those really long TBR lists because I won't know what I'm going to be in the mood for at any given time. The big part about my TBR videos and why I do want to make TBR videos is that I want input from you. I want to know what your favorite books are, what books you want me to read and know my thoughts and opinions on. That's the whole purpose of joining this community, is I wanted to meet other people and discuss books with them, and if we haven't read the same books, I can't really do that. Plus, everyone's read different books for the most part, and I would love to hear your expertise and what books captured your heart, or even books that you hated. But I do want this to be a back and forth so that you can have some input in what I read and then we can talk about it. The next thing that will be included in my TBRs is the Top Shelf Society. This is a book club that more than a few, think there's 7 of us, 7 of us are hosting. This book club is geared towards finding new favorite reads. We're going to start with some classics. We're reading Emma in the month of May, and then we're going to have a live stream at the end of the month discussing our thoughts. And then eventually we'll branch out from classics and just focus on reading books that we hope will be new favorites. I'll go ahead and link the video that Kristen from Perks of a Book Flower made. It is such a good introduction. And along with that, there are links to our book club's Goodreads, and I hope you can join. It's 1 book a month, and it's a lot of really wonderful people in the book club. The next thing that I would like to do for my channel, I had to put a lot of thought into this. And the thing that I came to the conclusion of is that I think the best way to go about what I would like to get out of this channel is by doing reading vlogs. The best format that I would like to do it in is if you've seen Murphy Napier's reading vlogs. A lot of people have, I'm sure. Hers are amazing. That's the kind of style I would like, where she does a weekly one. I can't commit to a weekly reading vlog, but I would like to do it in that way so that as I'm reading different books, I can just check in. It's basically check-ins throughout the week of your thoughts on a book, and I think that that's perfect. I will make sure that in the weekly reading vlog, I will hold up or show the books that I read that week so that you can see if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on those or not. But that's what I think the best format would be. The type of reading vlogs where I just do check-ins and talk about what I'm reading, and then occasionally I might add other things in it, like I'm sure my cats will make cameos in it as well. How can they not? Now, the reason why I think that that will be the best format for me is because I'm going to just call it like it is. I'm going to say I'm not that creative. There are so many incredible booktubers that have just the most beautifully creative and individual and talented ideas. I don't have the hilarious humor that some people have. I don't have the acting capabilities that other people have, just all different kinds of things. My only thing that I know that I can do is analyze books. That's what I like to do. I like to analyze and discuss. I'm a hardcore Ravenclaw. So that's why I think that reading vlogs that discuss will be the best option. I am not a brilliant creative genius. There are so many wonderful people out there that are, though, so you're not lacking on that content. Something that I keep struggling with, and let me know if you have similar experiences, because I feel like I'm the only one, but I have a hard time rating books. Once I found out about Goodreads, I started using it because the whole point is keeping track of and rating your books. But I love organization. And so Goodreads was a fabulous way for me to keep track of what I read. And the star rating system, it does have value. Like, I definitely can understand and appreciate the point of it. And it's really good in knowing through scrolling really quickly on your Goodreads if you liked a book or not. And it also is good at letting other people know how you felt about it. My Ravenclaw self gets too analytical about those analytics. I analyze way too much how I'm analyzing the book with the rating system. You know, when you start getting into like, oh no, it's a 3.85 or a 4.37, you know, you start to get down a rabbit hole where you can't quite figure out exactly what you want to rate it because you're nitpicking every little thing. And the problem with that is sometimes it's about a feeling and not necessarily something that you can really analyze. The other problem is your mood affects how you feel about a book. As I started to notice that it was heavily affecting my reading enjoyment, I'd be reading a book, and again, let me know if you do this too, but as I read the book, I would go, I think this is a 3-star. I think this is maybe gonna be a 4-star. And instead of being able to fully immerse myself in the world, I would get caught up in that. So because that would really take me out of my reading and out of the story, I decided that I'm not going to rate books anymore. But sometimes I know that there are very definitive feelings that you have. You know it's a 5-star. You know it's a 1-star. Sometimes you get an idea if it's a 4 or a 3. So I think instead of saying I'm not going to rate anything, I think what I'm going to say is I'm going to focus more on reviewing the books, and if I know for sure how I feel about a book, I will give it a star rating. But I'm not going to do that for everything. So essentially, I won't always be giving ratings unless I'm very confident in that star rating. And if I notice that even giving any star rating at all starts to affect my enjoyment of the book, I'll just stop giving star ratings completely. We'll see how that goes. I don't rate movies as I watch them. I just enjoy a movie or either don't enjoy the movie. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't at all. So we'll kind of play it by ear and see. The next thing that I want you to be aware of that I'm going to be starting on my channel is a series. The series is going to be called Book Inspired. I'll title it Book Inspired blank, and that may be Book Inspired Cooking, Book Inspired Baking. Those are probably going to be the main two, Book Inspired Cooking and Book Inspired Baking. However, I do think that I'm going to leave it open-ended so that if I feel up for it, if things open up outside again and I can go outside again, I might do a whole day, a book inspired day. I know Books and Lala did one of those and it was so fun to watch, where you read a book and you do things from the book in your day, or a number of things. There's so many, but the core that I'm going to be focusing on is book inspired cooking and baking. The reason I want to do that so much is because that's something that you can actually tangibly experience from the book. They're talking about a food or a drink or whatever it may be, and you might not know what that's like until you try it yourself, and it's like getting a little bit of a better glimpse into that world, and it's very immersive and hopefully delicious. I've already filmed the making of a polyjuice potion for the magical readathon. I was doing for the Owls Culinary Sorcerer. That's why I made polyjuice potion. And I have the ingredients that came in the mail for a couple of other things from the Harry Potter universe that I'm going to be making. And so I figure I'd pass my owls, so the newts are coming up next. So at this point, I'm gonna kind of look at it as, even though it's not the month of owls anymore, now the exams are over, so I can practice my culinary sorcery. So I'm gonna be doing some Harry Potter inspired treats, and most of them are baking. Let me think. They're all pretty much baking. One of them is candy making. Never done that before. That'll be interesting. I'm so looking forward to that series. That was actually why I started BookTube again, because I had that idea, and I haven't seen anybody else do anything quite like that. Maybe similar, like baking while in the video, but my goal is to be baking or cooking things that are literally from the books that they talk about in the books. I also did a challenge video for myself a few videos back where I showed you what books I own that I have not read. There's around 20 of them, and I told myself that I will not be buying any more books until I read most of those. I'll allow myself to use the library, check things out that way, but I just don't want to spend money on buying more books until I've gone through a majority of those. Having 20 to me is just too many. It overwhelms me, to be honest, and I feel like they're judging me. So I'm planning on spending a lot of time going through those. And once I go through those, I would like to keep my physical TBR down. To keep a smaller number. I love the library. I love using the library, and I want to continue doing that. And finally, the core of what I want my channel to be is warm and welcoming, cozy, chatty, and I just want everyone to feel welcome. And every single person has different opinions, and they're all valid. We are all different. We all have different life experiences and beliefs and thoughts. Everyone's opinion is valid. I don't want anyone to be putting anyone else down or judging each other for their opinions. Think of like happy cinnamon rolls. That is the vibe that I would like to have. I want this to be relaxed and casual and feel like we're all talking to friends. Oh, you know, I showed you this is Once Upon a Time and Happily Ever After on the other side, but this is actually Disney princess houses on the outside. We've got Jasmine, Cinderella. Here is Beauty and the Beast, Belle's castle, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Aurora's castle, Rapunzel's tower. That is Grandmother Willow. My favorite. Pocahontas is my favorite. And this is Ariel's. This is my favorite mug of all time. I always have at least two because I've dropped and broken it before, and I cannot live without this mug. This is my baby. So, quick recap. The things to look forward to with my channel. Flexible TBRs. I want input and suggestions from everyone so that we can read similar books and have discussions about it, and I can hopefully find new favorites from you. Every month I'll be reading a book with the Top Shelf Society. I will primarily be doing reading vlogs to discuss books with some other scattered videos throughout. I'm so excited to start my book-inspired series. It will be me mostly doing book-inspired cooking and baking from recipes relating to the book. I want to keep a smaller physical TBR. I mostly will be using the library, and the most important is I want everyone to feel welcome and cozy and comfortable here. Again, thank you so much for even clicking on my videos at all. I'm still very much getting used to this. It's not very natural to me, but I really appreciate it, and I've already met some wonderful people, and I look forward to meeting so many more. I'm very excited to be able to talk with people that love the same thing that I love. Thank you so much, and take care until next time.